Hey guys, Corey here from Sky's the Limit Car Care, and today we're going to talk about CQUARTZ DLight from CARPRO. This is going to be a huge announcement coming out this week, SEMA 2024. So I'm sure you're wondering, what is CQUARTZ DLight? Right off the bat, it's got the name CQUARTZ in it, so you know it's going to be a coating. So why do we need another coating? We're going to get into that and a bunch of other questions shortly. Number one is, of course, we'll get a little bit more into the technology. Does this replace any of your existing products, or is this one more product you've got to have without replacing something else? The cost, the durability. Finally, we're going to do a demonstration on how you apply it. In this case, we're going to do a headlight, but we'll talk a little bit about paint protection film and maybe even paint. So stick around. So first off, what is CQUARTZ DLight and why do we have that coming into the marketplace? So imagine UV protection amplified with completely new technology. This is a really big deal. There hasn't been any coatings to date that have come out that have had this type of UV protection or this amount of UV protection. Brand new technology. It's built on, what's the first letter in DLight? D. So that gives you a little bit of hint of what platform of CQUARTZ coatings it's built on. And then you've got this amazing UV protection. The really cool thing is the durability. Right off the bat, CARPRO is telling you UV protection is going to last at least 3 years. And I can tell you from my own testing with it that the beading characteristics and all of these things are on point. So as far as durability, obviously that's terrific. As with anything CARPRO, if they tell you 3 years, you can bet it's going to last longer in the better conditions. And ultimately, it always comes down to how you maintain it and how you prep it. But all things being equal, this is going to be a very durable ceramic coating on top of the UV protection that you're getting with it. So number two, sizes. Sizes are going to come in 30 mil, 50 mil, and 100 mil. Today, with the launch of it, we've got the 30 milliliter available exclusively at Sky's Limit Car Care. It'll be coming out to our resellers probably by the end of November. They'll all have it in stock, certainly by Christmas, but probably by the end of November they should have it. But today you can get it specifically at Sky's Limit Car Care in 30 mil size. 50 mil size and 100 mil size will be coming in a couple weeks. And then that'll round it out. We will eventually have a 10 mil sample size as well. So how far does the product spread? Obviously, if you're doing headlights, you could do a ton of headlights with a 30 mil bottle. If you're doing paint protection film, it's going to spread approximately what you're used to DQUARTZ Go spreading on the paint. This will spread about the same distance. Since you're using it on PPF a lot of the time, it's going to soak in on some PPFs more than others, so it might not go quite as far on PPFs that really soak in a lot of product. And then on paint, it's going to go very similar to DQUARTZ Go. As far as cost, this is a higher cost coating because, again, the technology that is built on, the platform that's built upon is very expensive to make. And then now we've got these UV additives that are brand new technology, and CARPRO has really spared no expense in the creation of this specific UV protective coating. So you're looking at around, off the top of my head, it was just slightly under $90 I think for a 30 mil and around $120 for a 50 mil. And then the 100 mil will have a discount on top of that. I haven't priced that one out yet, but that'll be coming out soon. Keep an eye on our website and all that information will be there, and the exact prices will be there right now if you click the links below. Do you need it? That's a great question to ask, obviously, and it's all going to depend on where you're at and what you're trying to protect. That goes back to the technology. Ceramic coatings, they're 1 to 3 microns. Historically, it's been almost impossible to have the kind of UV protection that you want in a ceramic coating since it's relatively thin compared to the paint, obviously. So in this case, they found new technology. They've advanced that tech into these ceramic coatings to where with DLight, we actually have a ton of UV protection in such a thin layer. So it's designed and made specifically for surfaces that are sensitive to it. Headlights, paint protection film. If you're in a super sunny area, then guess what? We've even tested it on paint. CARPRO doesn't mention anything about that, but we have used it on paint, and we'll show you more about that later too. But that basically answers the question, do you need it? Are you trying to protect PPF or headlights, or do you have a high risk of exposure to UV on your surfaces? Is that something that's going to break down whatever you're trying to protect? If so, then yes, you do need it. Does it replace anything? CQUARTZ skin, it can most certainly replace. If you don't have a ton of UV protection that's needed, if you're in an environment that's not sunny, then CQUARTZ Skin is going to cost you less money. So you could stick with CQUARTZ Skin, and then in that case you don't really need this. Of course, the DLight is going to last longer than CQUARTZ Skin. So all in all, I would say the CQUARTZ Dlux or the CQUARTZ DLight is going to be the better product for sure, but it's also going to cost you more money. The CQUARTZ Skin is going to be a lot more economical. So it just depends on what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it. Leave that up to you guys. But you don't need both. You need one or the other. So one thing I forgot to mention as we were talking about what products does this replace, we talked a lot about skin. I didn't mention Dlux, and that's something I should have mentioned, because if you're using CQUARTZ Dlux on headlights currently, then for sure this would replace that too. This is going to work a lot better on headlights than CQUARTZ Dlux will. Again, CQUARTZ Dlux, like CQUARTZ Skin, is more economically priced, but if you want the best product for the job, then ignore that name right there. This is our sample product, but the DLight, which is what's in this bottle, CQUARTZ DLight will be the best product for your headlights. Dlux, you can stick to using that on high temperature wheels, stuff like that. As far as black plastic trim, I have not tested it on the black plastic trim yet. That wasn't something that CARPRO told us, hey, this is what this is made for. They were specific about it being for clear plastics like PPF and headlights. We are going to test it on black plastic trim. We just want to have it on there a little while before we really get into depth with you on if we think that performs better than Dlux or not. If I had to guess, I'm thinking that it will, just because it's so great at UV protection, but we want to actually have valid data that we've seen for ourselves before we really recommend that to you guys. So I think that answers all of our primary questions. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move into the demonstration. All right, guys, so as far as our demonstration goes, normally we would have polished this headlight if it was used, but in this case, these were just installed yesterday. They're brand new. We know that there was never any wax or anything like that applied to them that's going to be deleterious to the bonding of the coating. So I'm just going to hit it with eraser just to be make sure we don't have any pollen or anything from his drive here this morning, and any fingerprints or oils from fingers, stuff like that. So normally we'd polish it with a little finishing polish, and then we would move to this step. We'd still go to this eraser step, and that's your panel wipe, and that's it. It's prepped, it's ready to coat. Usually we'll wait about 15 minutes or move on and go around the car prepping the other headlights and stuff, and then come back in 15 minutes and start coating. And the reason we do that is just to make sure that any alcohol from the eraser has a chance to migrate back out of that plastic. Or if we were doing paint, same situation. Okay, so as far as application goes, it's just like any other CQUARTZ coating. You're going to shake the product up a little bit, open it carefully. It's got childproof, so you just got to press down, but you want to move it slowly and away from your eyes. You never know when a product might bubble up. And then you're going to put a line of product along there. We'll put one more for good measure. And we're just going to rub that right onto the headlight. And because we have this little outset area right here, we're just going to put it on in whatever pattern we can to get everything in there. A hand applicator would probably have been a better option for this headlight. I'm just going to go ahead and pull this off so that I can get to the area a little bit easier. And we'll go back in there and get like that so we can get everything real nice and easy. And that's really all there is to it. Then it's just a matter of when do you wipe this back off. If you wipe the product on any surface that you don't want it on, which, other than leaving a high spot, it's not going to hurt anything, but you don't want any high spots. So if you overlap onto something you don't want it on, then you can just wipe that right back off with a towel right now, and it won't harm anything, obviously. All right, guys, so we've actually waited probably about 7-8 minutes for this. That doesn't necessarily mean you should wait 7 or 8 minutes. What you want to do, and what we actually did do, is about 2 minutes after we applied this, we gave it a little test spot. We just wiped a little like that, and it was so easy to wipe off, which it's actually quite easy still to wipe off, but I can see it's dried more, or flashed more, I should say. Anyway, 2 minutes in, it looked like it was too easy to wipe off for me. I decided I'm going to wait longer, and as usual, that's what you should do with any coating, is give it a quick little test spot, and then if you're not sure, give it additional test spots every 30 seconds or every 2 minutes, depending on how fast of a flashing coating it is. You give it another test spot. In this case, it's pretty forgiving, so you can wait like 2 minutes, test it, wait another 2 minutes. Generally speaking, about 5 minutes in, it's probably going to be ready to wipe off. Like I said, it's been about 8, and I tested this previously, and we were actually still good at 20 minutes in our environment. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off now. And it's wiping off real nice and easy. But it should have just a slight bit of grip, like it shouldn't just, you know, just be oily. So it's very important, like with any coating, especially around areas like this, tight little curves, there, anywhere where the panel comes over, any lips, you want to make sure you get all of those edges really well, because that's the place where it's most easy to leave a high spot. After you get everything off, you want to switch to a completely clean side of a towel and give it one more once over, making sure you don't leave any fingerprints or towel prints from any excess buildup. And then now when I go over and wipe off the other headlight, since it's such a small surface area, it's not like a hood, I'm actually going to go back and switch to this side of the towel. Even though I have some product in there, I'm going to wipe the other side off, and then I'll clean it off with that side since that barely has anything at all on it. And then when we go to the rear headlights or the rear taillights, we can flip over to this side and use, you know, the other 4 sides of the towel for that. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please be sure to do so. Like I mentioned, the CQUARTZ DLight is now available. That link's below. You can purchase that from Sky's the Limit Car Care today. All these videos that we do, all the products that we test and that we provide, we like to use these products ourselves before we offer them to you. So if you ever have any questions, just give us a call. Our service team is here to help. You're going to get the advice from people that are actually using the products and also have a plethora of information from our installer network. The feedback we get from them, as well as the testing that we do on our own, is here to help inform you. So take advantage of that. Email us, call us. We're here for you guys. Until next time, enjoy.